Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. Today we're going to be discussing some tools of the trade. I'm just going to take you through like what you need as the basics, and then, you know, if you want to upgrade, if you want to make things a little bit easier, you know, whatever you want to do. So, if you want to make a Deco mesh wreath, I'm not going to talk about materials, I'm not going to talk about the wreath forms, I'm not going to talk about pipe cleaners, or cable ties, or ribbon, or mesh. We're just talking about tools that you can use, and then tools that will make your time easier, more fun, more profitable, whatever. So if you want to make a wreath, all you need is a pair of scissors. You can do everything with a pair of scissors. You can cut your mesh, you can cut your ribbons, you can cut your pipe cleaners. That's pretty much it. These are Levingo scissors from Amazon. I love these. They were maybe $16. They were under $20. I've had them for a while, and the only trouble I'm running into them is that when we cut fabric, we need dedicated fabric scissors to get great cuts. The problem with that is that our fabric ribbon also has wires in it. So I'm running into a little bit of wear and tear, like right here where I always, because that's usually where I'm cutting my edges of the ribbon, the wire edges, like right here. I mean, I could probably get these sharpened. It's not an issue, it's not a terrible issue right now, it's just I'm starting to feel a little bit of resistance, and I don't want that. But it's at the end, so I'll probably go a couple more months with these before I have to look into either buying a new pair or having those sharpened. If you don't want to spend $17 on a pair of scissors, if you don't shop at Amazon, you can go to Dollar Tree and you can get the Betty Crocker red and white kitchen scissors. They do a serviceable job, and depending on how often you use them, they will last you a while. I used to keep mine for maybe a week. I make a lot more, I cut a lot more ribbon than most people, I would think. They lasted me a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then I would downgrade them from cutting ribbon, which is like, I said, like this is the fine area of fine detail cuts, which is not really fine detail cuts, but that's when I want them the sharpest. Then they went to the kitchen where they were cutting up vegetables, they were cutting up stuff for salads, they were cutting up herbs, they were cutting up chicken, they were cutting up fish, and then eventually they end up outside where they do gardening work. So you're going to buy those more often, and depending on how much you use them, in 16 to 32 weeks you're going to have the price of one of these. So it's up to you. I don't care, you know, whatever you want to do. If the Dollar Tree is easier for you to get to, which I'm sure it is, and it's easier than ordering from Amazon, but Amazon is pretty easy to order from, and you'll have these for a long time. So after that, I would probably suggest getting a cutting mat, just because if we don't have a cutting mat and we're cutting all of our stuff with a pair of scissors, we're going to need some kind of measurement device. You could use a ruler. I think that would get very old very quickly, but these are usually, they're under $20. This is my personal opinion here. I would not buy this anywhere except for Walmart. They are ridiculously overpriced at Michael's, at Hobby Lobby, at Joann's, unless you have a magnificent coupon to any of those places, two of which don't even have coupons anymore, or if there's a really good sale. I would not buy this from any craft store online. I would not buy this from Amazon. I would get this from Walmart. I like completely lost my train of thought there. Mine is 18 by 24. If I wasn't working in the limits of this space here with my camera rig, I would have a larger one. I would ideally like one that was 24 by 36. I have 18 by 24. I can make one cut and then I have to move. If I had a longer one, I could make 3 10-inch cuts before I had to move, you know, so it doesn't really matter. And if you have a cutting mat, you're probably going to want to upgrade at some point to a rotary cutter. This is a Fiskars. This one's about 15 years old, honestly. I've been in this house for 10 years. I've had it the entire time. I started quilting like 5 years before I moved into this house, so this one has been through a lot, and it has finally started to show some signs of its age. This thing keeps moving. I don't know why. I don't know if I've just used it so much that I've worn down like the threading on here. I just looked the other day to get a new one. It was like $16 from Walmart, and I was like, do I want to spend that right? Because let's be honest, it's no fun buying tools. Like, if I'm gonna have $15, I want to buy mesh and ribbon and pretty stuff. I don't want to buy a rotary cutter. But yeah, this is my preferred one. I just like the way it feels. I like that I can operate it with my thumb, opening and closing it with my thumb. Yeah, the blades are ridiculously expensive. I lucked out a long time ago and found a bunch of blades in Walmart on clearance. It was like 5 of them for $1. So I bought like every pack they have, so I'm stocked until like the end of time with rotary blades, but they're expensive, so you need to remember that when you buy whatever brand you end up going with. And unfortunately, like, they're usually in a pack, you can't really test them, but I find out of all the ones I have, because I have an Olfa one, I have a Fiskars one, I have like a Clover one, I just like this one. I'm a fan of Fiskars, I always have been. But as much as I have always been a fan of Fiskars and always will be a fan of Fiskars, if you are a dedicated viewer of this channel, you saw me recently in a video, I can't remember which one it was, I can't tell you to go watch it, where I tried a new rotary cutter. This one right here. This is a 28mm rotary cutter. This is a 45. They also sell a 60. You do not need a 60. Do not buy it. It looks like a pizza cutter. It's a big, big, sharp blade. You don't need that. You need a 45 at the biggest. The 60, I don't know. I don't know what the point of that is. It's just, it's big, it's hard to operate. It's just, get the 45. Or get the 28. This is a rotary cutter that is used when you're cutting fabric. You use this to get tight curves. Like if you're cutting curves, you would use something small like this, because this one does not turn as smoothly as this one does if you're cutting a curve. This is from Dollar Tree, and I love it. The video where I tried this, I was like, I'm gonna try this, y'all. I don't know, let's just see, because I have been having problems with this one, and I tried this one and I was freaking blown away. I was like, okay, Dollar Tree, come through, snatch my wig. I'm shook. Whatever the kids are saying nowadays, I don't know. It is not the best designed roller rotary cutter, because you have to like push down to remove the safety. This is a little small for my hands. It's probably great for, I'm assuming the majority of my audience have smaller hands than me, because I am a giant of a man. I am like those Dothraki people from Game of Thrones. Yeah, so it's a little small for my hands, and it's not as, I don't feel as safe with this one as I do with this one, but I can get 16 of these for one of these. And so far, I don't seem like, it's Deco mesh we're cutting. It's not like we're cutting fabric. So like when you cut fabric, you want something like really precise, really straight, really nice cuts. Not so important when we're cutting Deco mesh. So again, if you want to just spend $2 instead of $36 or whatever these two end up being, get your scissors and your rotary cutter from Dollar Tree. The only problem with this is I don't think they sell replacement blades. It looks like you can take this off. I'm not gonna mess with it because I don't want to have to be out another rotary cutter. I don't think they sell replacement blade. Actually, I could tighten this up, huh? See, and this kind of, oh no. Right, wait, that's gotta be a little loose because now I can't close the guard. I don't think they, again, let me say it 4 times. I don't think they sell replacement blades, so when you need a new one of these, you are gonna have to buy a new rotary cutter, which I'm not saying like, oh, you're gonna have to buy a whole new rotary cutter for $1, but this is a piece of plastic that's never going away, so you're gonna end up throwing this away. I'm gonna leave that to you, whatever your conscience dictates. But I love this one. I've been using this one exclusively because this one is like, it's driving me crazy right now. I don't know what's wrong with it. I will eventually try to figure it out, or I will get a new one because I like to have options. So we got our scissors, our rotary cutters, our mat. Let's get into these. These are a pair of, what are we calling these? Like wire snips, wire cutters. I have been through 3 or 4 pair before this. I started out with like the $2 pair from the craft section at Walmart, and then I went to like the $4 pair from the hardware section at Walmart. And then when Carl died, my mom, I was at her house and she was like, do you want anything from the shed? And I was like, does he have a pair of wire cutters? Because these are fine to cut most floral stems and all your pipe cleaners. Like these, I mean, you could use your Betty Crocker scissors to cut the pipe cleaners if you want. This is definitely overkill for pipe cleaners, but if I am cutting a stem like this, for instance, like this up here, that's fine. If I want to cut this down here, I'm gonna have trouble with a smaller pair of wire cutters, because even this is, but it does it. I'm also assuming that while you all have smaller hands than me, you also have a lot stronger hands than me. I have no hand strength in either hand, so I needed these because it made cutting stems a little bit easier. Pipe cleaners, cut them with scissors if you want, it's not a big deal. If you're cutting a lot of florals, if you're doing grapevines, you need to clean them up. I prefer something heavier. These are Husky. They're probably 60 years old, God only knows. But I will always use these because they were Carl's and they're important to me. So they don't look great, they're a little rusty, they get the job done. And they cut thicker things. All right, what else do we have over here? This, if you guys, again, you don't have to be a dedicated viewer to know that I struggle with getting pipe cleaners through mesh. This is a yarn needle. It's plastic. It has a very big eye that a pipe cleaner can very easily go through. So if you have trouble getting pipe cleaners through Deco mesh, you put it in there, you stick it through, you pull it out, go around. I used to use these for shipping too, but I'm going to show you also, while we're here, we'll talk about that a little bit, not really much because this isn't really about shipping. But these are from Walmart. They are in the craft section by the Crochet Hooks. There's a smaller set, which I thought I had over here, but I haven't really used them. I bought these and I bought the other ones because I was like, let me see what works better. These work better. Very easy because there's a point, it goes through, it's firmer than a pipe cleaner, so you can just kind of shove it through whatever, pull it through the back if you have trouble navigating, because sometimes I put a lot of mesh on my, sometimes I put a lot of mesh on my wreath. Y'all know how much mesh I put on my wreath, and y'all know I struggle. This is like, sometimes I'm putting on a sign on a wreath and it takes me so long, I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? I should be doing something where I don't have to deal with pipe cleaners and Deco mesh, but this is a nice thing to have. Again, these are like $2 for 2 of them. As long as you take care of them, they're gonna last you forever. So yeah, there's that. Let's see. If you are attaching signs, you will need either something like a cable tie, a cable mount thing, a hole that's already there. You can drill a hole if you already have a drill, or you can get a staple gun. This is one from Walmart. It's, I think they're like $6. They're not very expensive at all. It also will kill you because it is so hard to squeeze if you have no hand strength. I am big, y'all. I am a big guy. I am very tall. I'm very big. I have a lot of weight behind me when I bear down on something, and this is almost impossible for me to work with. I stopped using this because my hands would just not allow it. So you don't need a specialty staple gun, but if you have problems, you might want to look into something like this. This is basically a backward staple gun where this is the handle we're squeezing down, this is the handle we're squeezing down, this is where the staples come out, this is where the staples come out. So instead of squeezing here to try to get them to come out here, we can squeeze here, and it just changes the way you're holding it, and you can bear down on it more and not worry about it kicking back. It's a lot. This is a lot easier to use for me because it's not like a handle. I can just kind of squeeze this whole thing. I just have a better grip on it. I really like this one. This one is from, I got this one from Home Depot. It's more expensive. It's maybe like a $20, I'm assuming it's like $20. I might have paid more than that, but somewhere around there. You could probably get this, I know you could definitely get this on Amazon. You can get anything on Amazon, but yeah, I prefer this one. If you have older hands, if you have hand problems, if you're arthritic, carpal tunnel, whatever, I like this. Yeah, and I do use the, I thought they were right there, the staple, they're over there, the staples that go with it, just because I want to have a good, is this on? I want to have a good time when I'm using a stapler. I don't want it to get jammed. This one does jam sometimes, but it's usually when I'm trying to staple in the same spot twice. Excuse me. I need a new throat if anybody's offering. Glue gun. This is an AdTech glue gun. It is dripless. I have spent more on glue guns and have not been happy with them. I had the Gorilla glue gun, which I eventually stopped using because it was so hard for me to say, and it dripped, it leaked. It was just like a kid with a runny nose. This one's from Walmart again, and it's under $10, it's probably under $5. They sell a smaller one that I use in my office. It is $3 because it's $2.97. I saw it the other day at Walmart. Both of these are good. When you want to upgrade, when you're making a lot of wreaths, particularly grapevines, I find this very useful for grapevines. You can grab, I mean, I'm hot, but the air's not on. You can grab an electric skillet. I would say first go to a place like Goodwill because you don't need it to be perfect. You just need it to get hot. Mine is from Amazon. I cannot tell you which, it's an Elite. That's all I can tell you. And it has been a game changer for me just because I can dip, I can stick, I can move on. You can set this to where the consistency of it is very thick, and the thicker it is, the faster it dries. If you set this all the way up to kill, you're gonna get very runny glue that is not gonna dry very quick, so you're not gonna be able to like stick and go. And that's what I don't wanna waste time waiting for glue to dry. So I will get it to where it's thicker than honey. I would say, God, what can I compare that to? Like a hair gel consistency? You know, it doesn't like run off when you dip something in there. Y'all have seen me use this 100 times, but this is what it is, and it's filled with AdTech glue sticks. I just did a video on these, which should be up by now. I just buy these in a 5-pound box from Amazon, cut them up and put them in there. And yes, you are gonna get stuff floating around in yours, like there is stuff floating around in mine, like the piece of ribbon that's down here, a piece of grapevine, a piece of a floral stem. I don't know, that's like a, I don't know what that is, but yeah, I just keep filling this up. It is what it is. It is very useful. This is probably one of the biggest time savers you could get, but also not necessary unless you are like, I'm like, unless you are, as I look around the wreaths everywhere, like unless you're like doing a business thing, you don't, you know, unless you're making a wreath a day like I do, sometimes two. How is this up here? Okay. This underneath it is not necessary. This is a Sill Pad. It's a non-stick silicone sheet. You do not need the Sill Pad brand. That is what I had because I'm bougie. Actually, I think my grandma gave me that. And I was like, Grandma, what am I going to do with a Sill Pad one when I could just get the cheaper ones? But you can get, I think Dollar Tree even sells something similar. This is just here because usually my glue gun is right here, and if it is going to drip, I don't want it to drip on the table. I don't want this glue to drip on the table, so this is just a little silicone mat. Everything peels off of it. Yeah, but now my glue gun is just kind of over here because I keep putting it here and then turning on the skillet, and then even if this is not on, it is on right now because my lights are on and it comes on automatically when I turn my lights on. It gets all gross and funky and it gets burned, and you know, I do have to make videos with this stuff, so I like to keep it as nice as I can. That was a joke. Utility blade you might need. This is usually here for unboxings, which if you're doing unboxings, you might need one. This is from Dollar Tree, or is it from Dollar Tree? It doesn't matter. I just like having one around just in case I need to like snip something, open something real quick, whatever. Yes, and here is, y'all, I've had a contentious relationship with the Easy Bow Maker. It looks so easy when you see people use it, and when I got it, I was like, this is gonna be so easy. I see people do this to make a bow in like 2 minutes, and it's beautiful. And it took me about a year, probably. I've had this for over a year now, and I just started feeling comfortable with it around this Christmas. Like I stopped using the Easy Bow Maker, ordered the Pro Bow Maker, and then I was like, well, that's ridiculous. That whole thing is ridiculous. Mine, I used it twice maybe, and I haven't touched it since. I have no idea where it is, and I'm fine with that. Some people love it. If that's your thing, if you want to get that complicated, that's fine. This is called the Easy Bow Maker for a reason. And I was talking to one of my patrons the other day, and she's like, I'm just having trouble with the Easy Bow Maker. And I said, I posted a video on how to use this. If that video does not work for you, find somebody else, because that's what I had to do. I watched this person do it, and this person do it, and that person do it, and it wasn't until I was watching somebody and they were making a bow, and I was just like, oh, something just clicked about the way they explained it, and I was just like, oh, okay. I was like, so, okay. So yeah, you do not need this, but if you do not know how to make bows, you do need this. I would say so. Hand bows, I can make hand bows. I have no problem making a hand bow. I can't make all the different kinds of bows I make by hand. Well, I guess I could if I tried, but my hands are wrecked. I'm not gonna make that situation worse. This is gonna act as a set of hands. This is gonna act as another set of hands. And this just makes everything a lot easier. I don't have to like grip anything. I don't have to get hand cramps. There's a theme going throughout this that is making things easier on me, because I'm doing this a lot and I just don't want any extra injuries. I've been through enough. Yeah, you can get this from Amazon. Michaels sometimes has it. I got mine from Amazon, but I think I also paid more. Was it this one or the other one? I mean, I paid like $14 for this, and maybe it's like $10 if you get it on like Michaels or something. Like if there's, you can look around, search Easy Bow Maker. I got mine from Amazon. I'm not going to tell you where to buy your stuff from. I think Deco Exchange also has it for around that same price. I wouldn't go over 15 for this though, so that's me. So that's all the stuff you need to make wreaths, I think. I mean, unless I'm missing something. No, we're not going over material. So those are like the tools you need. If you're shipping, this giant needle is invaluable. I was using this needle when there's a shipping video coming out. Y'all have seen it already. I think me and my mom used this one because this is what I was using. And I was like, I wish I had a metal one. And then I was like, wait, they sell upholstery needles. This is not even my longest needle. This one is 12 inches. I have one it's got to be 15. Again, it's enough to get a pipe cleaner through. And the reason this is 12 inches long is because when I pack my wreaths, make the box, tape it up, the wreath goes in, and this goes through the Deco mesh, through the bottom of the box, up, and then it's tied off so the wreath is secured inside the box. That used to take me so long when I was using an awl first, and then I switched to this, and this was bending all the time and it was short. Now that I have switched to this, it's like, I mean, it's like a half an hour for me to, it took me like a half an hour to box up 3 wreaths the other day, and they were all very secure with pipe cleaners, all taped up, all done, labels ready to go, and this is what saved me the most amount of time. I went from like a half an hour per box to like 10 minutes. And even that seems really long. But y'all know how you know how I am with pipe cleaners. They are just the worst. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm looking around. I've done a complete video dedicated to the spray glue, and I don't have any up here because I usually spray that outside. If you have ribbon tails that are prone to fraying, or ribbon that is a little flimsy, I like the Elmer spray glue for that. This is my spool holder. It came with my Pro Bow. This is worth the Pro Bow by itself. Like, even if I didn't get the Pro Bow, the amount I spent on it would have been worth it just to get this thing with these 3 dowel rods sticking out of it. If you or your husband or your brother or your sister or your dad or your mom or your whoever is handy, they can get you a 2x4 and drill a couple of dowels into it. And I don't know if they sell this separately or not, but that's very nice. It keeps everything organized. so ribbons aren't flying everywhere else. That also helped me make better bows. So yeah, I think that's it. I mean, everything else around here is Mountain Dew for hydration, pen for writing personalized notes on my orders, a cable ties. Well, I would show it to you, but it fell on the floor and I'm too lazy to pick it up. I used to use cable ties a lot. I don't use them as much anymore. But yeah, those are all the tools, the actual tools. Everything else would be materials. And I'm going to be having I think it's going to be the first or the second to last week in June. We are going to do a basics all week long, start to finish, very in-depth, how to make your first wreath. It's going to be free on my YouTube channel. You know, I don't like putting stuff behind a paywall, but yeah. So it's going to be free. I'm going to use all this stuff, and we're going to go from the first thing to the very last thing. Probably not shipping, because I hate shipping wreaths. But yeah, we'll be using that, so that's something to look forward to. I'm going to start filming that probably, oh no, I got to get some stuff to go with it, because I want to be very thorough, but yeah. So there you go. That's what you need. And you can get by with a lot less, and you could also get by with a lot more. I don't know what I would buy if... I think my next purchase would be, if I was going to buy it, might be a pick machine, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like I would like a pick machine for grapevines, but I also don't want to spend $200 on a big, clunky, heavy piece of machinery that I haven't really had a need for yet. Like, there's sometimes where I've been like, man, this would be nice to have a pick machine, but also I have floral tape and a stick. So yeah, maybe I'll get a pick machine. I really can't think of anything else. I would love if I could find an impulse sealer that worked, but still, when I had one, I was just like, I don't like this, and I don't like the smell of burnt Deco mesh, so maybe a pick machine, and maybe a bigger mat, but this is good. I'm making do. So alright, that's everything. Thanks for watching. If you want to visit my Etsy, it's linked down below, along with my Instagram and Patreon. If you want to join us over there, we have exclusive behind-the-scene videos, live streams, chats. You get to see the wreaths as they're made instead of as they're posted, so you get early access. Sometimes we have early access videos. And Venmo, if you want to send me a tip for this awkward... I feel like this video is just so awkward. I'm just like, what am I doing? I can't talk today. But yeah, Venmo's there if you want to send me a tip, if you enjoyed my awkward video, or if you learned something. But yeah, those are the tools. Not a lot. I mean, you'd easily get started for $100. Like, definitely. Under $100. I mean, you could get started for $1 if you bought the Betty Crocker scissors and just pound a ruler around your house. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye!